Brett Cooper looks like Snow White in this promo, whereas you can't really say the same thing about Rachel Zegler.
How do you describe that experience?
Oh, it's so weird and like not okay.
When I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. And I'm there 24/7, I can't get out.
By making their own version of Snow White, starring Brett Cooper and Rachel Zegler, the Daily Wire is retaliating against Rachel Zimmer and Disney. You won't believe what Brett Cooper said about Rachel Zegler's Snow White and why Rachel is so mad at her. The Daily Wire has decided that enough is enough and that Disney has been screwing up for far too long. So they are taking matters into their own hands by making a new version of Snow White that is true to the original Walt Disney story as a big F you to Rachel and the current producer.
Attempting something huge. We're going up against Disney. We have our critics, but we have passion and we have a mission in mind that is bigger than just this movie. And it might be crazy, but we are having a ton of fun and people are very excited.
The animated masterpiece Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was first produced in 1937 by the visionary Walt Disney. It not only told a story, but also signaled a profound cultural shift in the realms of storytelling and animation, which is why it is so highly regarded. It is not only a piece of Disney history that brings back fond memories of childhood. With its incredibly rich story full of love, friendship, and hardships, Snow White was a transformative force that went beyond the bounds of its time and made a lasting impression on film. The film's captivating story and breathtaking images won over audiences of all ages. It wasn't just a box office hit. It also established Disney as a trailblazer by setting a new standard for animated storytelling. Nevertheless, the origins of the Snow White story go beyond the fantastical realms of Disney. The Grimm brothers, German storytellers, were the ones who first told the original fairy tale in 1812, and their adaptation introduced classical components. The jealous stepmother Disney's adaptation gave these timeless themes new life through the poisoned apple and the prince's life-saving kiss, producing a visually stunning interpretation that maintained Snow White's charming charm for generations. For this reason, controversy erupted when Disney revealed a live-action retelling of this beloved story. The choice to cast Latina actress Rachel Zegler as Snow White has drawn a lot of criticism, particularly from viewers who wonder why it was made given the German or origin stories. Rachel has even been rather forthright about the idea that the plot would be moving away from the initial components that comprised the conventional prince rescues princess with true love storyline and toward a more feminist storytelling approach, which has heightened the discussion.
I mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Fans who are deeply rooted in Snow White's historical and cultural roots voiced their disapproval of the liberties taken in this new adaptation. Some even argued that changing this foundation by casting Rachel despite her undeniable acting and singing talent, which she has repeatedly demonstrated, might actually dilute the essence of the tale. This isn't even about undermining Rachel's abilities. Rather, it's about respecting the narrative's cultural roots, as Rachel could undoubtedly find many other roles that would suit her better both visually and narratively. Disney's decision to make Snow White more feminist adds another level of controversy because, while embracing feminism in storytelling is commendable, critics worry that deviating too much from the original narrative may jeopardize the timeless appeal that has made Snow White a beloved tale for centuries. This is especially true given that many people are already dissatisfied with the directions the film has taken before they can even see it, making the controversy a delicate dance between progress and preservation. Fans are thrilled about the Daily Wire's latest announcement because they can't wait to see a reimagining that pays homage to Snow White's cultural origins. Disney, a powerhouse in the entertainment industry, must walk a fine line between cultural sensitivity and creative innovation, and it clearly appears to be failing at it. While embracing the evolving dynamics of modern storytelling, it's not even just the story's main themes regarding love that have been problematic for the movie, as fans were also incredibly disappointed to hear that Disney had decided to replace its iconic and extremely necessary dwarfs with magical creatures. In fact, fans were so enraged about all of Disney's decisions that they actually managed to make a change, as Disney decided to push back the release of the movie in order to bring the Dwarfs back to life, this only proved one thing to fans. Disney is afraid of backlash, which is why it's getting more and more clear that letting Rachel spill all her mean words regarding the original movie might not have been the best marketing move. The Daily Wire has also been extremely aware of this, as they obviously decided that they could do a way better job than Disney, seeing as they were already struggling to keep their audience, which is why they decided to offer their own take on the movie. Starring Brett Cooper, as Brett herself revealed, this movie would be not only accurate to its original, but the modern twist on it would in no way be political or feministic, as the Daily Wire believes that you can make modern stories without offending anyone the way Disney is doing.
That really is the main point. We're not trying to turn Snow White into something that it's not. We're not trying to turn Snow White into a MAGA conservative movie. We're just trying to represent the values that Snow White is based in, the timeless values that we all loved growing up that are sadly being forgotten in this new adaptation.
The conservative platform even decided to launch its own streaming service for children, where the movie will one day be available on, in order to protect these traditional politic-less values that the original Snow White movie was trying to portray. In fact, members of the platform have already commented on the backlash Disney has gotten, especially now that an alternative will be hitting the market. Even David Hand, who worked as a Disney designer in the 1990s, and also happens to be the son of one of the original film's directors, has commented on how badly Disney has screwed up with Snow White, and has even called the movie insulting because of its harsh changes and drastic shift in storytelling themes. In fact, David even believes that this is insulting to Disney's own legacy, and even his own father, who had worked on the original movie. This is exactly the sort of thing that Brett Cooper herself has also been trying to highlight, as she also firmly believes that Rachel's views and changes are entirely wrong. Now, people from all over the world have shared their excitement concerning Brett's project, as they believe that this is something that could genuinely honor the Snow White they know and love, and something that their kids could love just as much as they did. Fans of growing up left a ton of supportive comments, such as, "Can't wait to see it. This is definitely a Snow White. I'll watch with my 5-year-old daughter. I can't wait to see your version. I grew up reading Grimm's Tale, and I'm glad you guys are sticking to the source material. This makes me so happy. Congratulations on becoming Snow White. This will be a true classic, a masterpiece. The world needs this. So thank you, Brett, for you and the wonderful people at The Wire." One thing that particularly seemed to stick with fans was Brett's insistence that they are not attempting to appeal to woke audiences, as Rachel had been doing in all of her interviews, and that they would be respecting those traditional values.
You're right, we don't give a crap about being woke, but more importantly, our creative team actually gives a crap about the source material. They want to tell the original story with the values and the themes that made the Grimm brothers fairy tale so famous and important to begin with. Values like love and kindness and friendship and inner beauty versus vanity and romance, for Pete's sake, because apparently that's missing in 2020.
But given how vocal Brett chose to be about her own opinions, just as Rachel had been, it's no surprise that this film has gotten a lot of positive online feedback, much of which cannot be said for Rachel's version. It also appears that it may have even reached Rachel herself, given that Brett spoke directly to her multiple times in her video discussing her own role, according to a confidential source. According to a source, Rachel was furious that this new film was even being made, especially since Brett had so much to say about her character. One thing is certain, though, Rachel and Disney will never publicly acknowledge Brett's version, not only because it would look back for PR purposes, but also because it would probably be an uphill battle, because most people seem to be completely in love with Brett's character and the Daily Wire's vision. Rachel allegedly stated that mine was better because she really shared exactly how she feels regarding this new project. However, Rachel herself has not made any public comments on her own social media or in interviews, so many are unsure if they can believe this statement. Given that Rachel has received so much criticism for her performance that she has had to beg people to stop sending her hate mail, some even assume that her alleged response indicates that she is envious of Brett's success with her film.
It's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
Considering that she appears to have caused all of this herself based only on her own statements, this was really startling to witness. Please share your thoughts about this new anti-woke Snow White in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to watch this other video.